Cool. Hi, everyone. So we're two interns from Undocumented Student Services on campus. So my name's Yafe. I'm a sociology and linguistics double major. I'm a fourth year. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and life after college goals. I am applying for my master's in social work, so hopefully be a social work one day.
Hi, everyone. My name is Martha. I'm a third year environmental studies major. I use the pronouns she, her, hers. And hopefully life after college, I do want to go to law school to engage in environmental law.
And as always, if you want to share anything about yourself, feel free to drop that in the chat, just so we can know a little bit more about you all. But Undocumented Student Services, so we are a service on campus. It's more like a department on campus that is really committed to fostering a safe and supportive environment for undocumented students, prospective, current, also students with mixed immigration status families. So what that means is maybe you're not undocumented yourself, but you have an immediate family member who might be a brother, sister, parent, any of the sort, and students with refugee backgrounds. So we really try to encompass the wider umbrella that is immigration. There we go. So partnerships. So the way that we really want to provide the best services and resources for students is through partnerships on campus. So again, we have different types of partnerships, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the ones we offer, but career services, CAP, which is counseling and psychological services, different services that we go ahead and partner to host events, programs, and just have resources for you all. So one of the biggest resources that we have on campus is legal services, and this is through a partnership with the UC Immigration Legal Service Center. We do have an attorney on campus, well, quote unquote on campus. She's an attorney that works with UCSB. Her name is Ana Manuel. She is available in our website as well if you want to make an appointment with her, but students and immediate family members can meet with her at no extra charge, so we do offer that free service. And we also do events like Know Your Rights workshops, emergency cases. So for whatever reason you or a family member has an emergency case, you can put that when you're making an appointment, and we do give priority to anyone who has an emergency case. Renewal workshops, so for any DACA students, if you need to renew your DACA, we do have workshops, and sometimes we do have financial aid for that. And then any in-depth consultations, we always recommend, and this is something that I'll repeat a lot throughout the workshop, is to talk to a lawyer. Even if you think you know everything about your status, even if your parents have told you everything they know about your status, it's always really important to talk to a lawyer. We have had students who talked to a lawyer and didn't know that they could change their status, they could modify it in any way. So it's always really important to know all of your options. The case might not be that you can change it. They might tell you this is the base status you have, and give you some resources to kind of help you out. But you never know, so it's really important to just make sure you're as informed as possible, and it's a free resource, so you might as well take advantage of that. Cool, so another program that we do offer is our mentoring program, so USS mentoring program. For 6 years, we did a mentoring program with faculty, and it was really fought for by students. They didn't feel like they were connecting with faculty as well, and so we decided to hold a program where we can kind of help them connect with faculty on campus. We are expanding this program to hold staff and alumni as well. And we find that it's really important. They help their mentees in academic, professional, or personal support. I did this program last year, and I still have my mentor, and I still continue to talk to her. So I think it's really important. We've had mentees who started their first year and continue with the same mentor to their fourth year. So really important to build that connection and have that available for you all. So again, the deadline's October 12th. So please apply if you can, or if this sounds like something that would be interesting to you. As always, it's really important to kind of build community. So this might be one of the ways that you can get involved with other undocumented folks, or USSF in general. Especially if you're interested in research or doing research, this is a good way to connect with faculty who can connect you with possibilities. Maybe they're not doing research, but they know a peer who might be. So different ways to kind of build that network as well. We do have an event coming up. This is the new student virtual meetup. It's on October 3rd at 1 or October 7th at 6 p.m. Again, this is so that students can come meet the staff for Undocumented Student Services, interns, or even other undocumented students themselves. Again, this is really just to build community and learn more about what the experience for undocumented folks at UCSB looks like, and to really transition into like the college environment. I know things are virtual, but you will definitely feel the environment as you go to classes and things like that. So if you're available and you want to kind of build that community, this is a really good event to kind of start with that. Cool. So a little bit about our updates on DACA. So USCSI announced that they will be processing DACA renewals every year instead of every 2 years. They will not be accepting any new DACA applications if you are unable to apply for DACA due to the administrative changes that happened. They're still not accepting any new DACA applications. And then we have advanced parole changes. So they're not going to approve any advanced parole unless they're like exceptional circumstances. As always, I'm not a lawyer, so I recommend talking to a lawyer about any questions that you have around any of these updates, including whether you think you fit that exceptional circumstances gray area for advanced parole. Make sure you talk to a lawyer before applying for any paperwork or anything like that. And again, DACA is constantly changing, so these updates are only as of July 28th. Things will continue to change, so just make sure you keep yourself updated, and USCS will always try to keep you updated through emails and our website and things like that.
So Yasha and I are going to talk a little bit about like our experience with UCSB students and coming in. So I'm an undocumented student. I came in as a first year. Obviously, as a first year, it was a really huge culture shock. I came from like a majority Hispanic school, like high school. So coming into UCSB, it was very different. It was also very different in terms of financial aid. Like my parents can't afford to pay that super big tuition. So it was really helpful to have USS be there for me. Our director, like Diana, I would always go and talk to her, check in, see how she can help me, and what kind of resource I could take advantage of. So that was something that I loved that I did early on. Something I definitely recommend, especially for incoming students, whether you're a first year or transfer, it's never too late to get in touch with our director. Something that I wish I would have done differently is I wish I would have been more part of like my own community in terms of like going out and like joining organizations or going out and meeting more like students that are kind of like me. I felt like I kind of stayed within that USS like cohort, but it was still really helpful. And then Yasha can talk a little bit more about how her experience was.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things that I learned was joining orgs is really important in kind of building that community. As Marta kind of said, you do have a little bit of culture shock depending where you're coming from. Of course, if you're from the Santa Barbara area, maybe not so much, but every person I've talked to, college is kind of different and hard to transition into. So really meeting folks that you can connect with and talk to. So we do have 2 orgs on campus. We have Ideas, which is one of the undocumented student orgs. Again, it's socials. We would hold retreats, events, pizza nights, study nights, different kind of events. We did have some like activist events if you're kind of interested in like activism on campus. We also did a little bit of that. And that's really where I kind of started my first year, and I've been in it for 4 years, and some of my closest friends came from that organization. And they do meet once a week. This year will be a little bit different. But yeah, that's really where I build my friends and where I build my community, and kind of felt a little bit more where I fit in as an undocumented student. Another org that we do have available on campus is UndocuCutie, which is for undocumented folks who fit that intersection of queer as well. So they have their own space and they have their own orgs and meetings. So if you're interested in that as well, that's also something that you can do. And we do have that available in our website. If you go to USS's website, you can kind of see our 2 orgs and see when they're meeting, as well as Indiana's emails. But that's really where my experience came into. I think it's important to build community, and we do have 2 orgs for that if you would like, but joining any org that you can find is also really important. So it doesn't have to be undocumented specific, but just kind of making friends and having people that you can talk to is, I think, really crucial in college. At least that's based on what I felt kind of helped me my first 4 years.
So that was a little bit more of, we kind of did a small overview about what USS does, the kind of resources that we are able to provide, or kind of resources we can connect you to. But definitely if you have further questions, like you can visit our website, the UCSB USS website, also the Dream Scholar website at UCSB talks a little bit more about financial aid and how they can help you based on your status. Definitely reach out to our USS director, Diana Valdivia. That's her email address right here, and then her work phone number. So please don't hesitate. You can also reach out to Yasta and I through USS. We really like to talk to other students and like have that one-on-one. If you don't want to talk to a staff member on campus, you definitely have us to talk to.
Cool. So we did a lot of talking at you, and we do want to talk with you. So we do have some questions. If you all can unmute yourself or drop it in the chat, either one, fine, whatever it is that you're most comfortable with. So maybe what brought you to this space or why you decided to take this workshop, what's something that you're looking forward to this upcoming year, what your major is, what concerns you have, or anything outside of these questions is fine. Anything you kind of feel like sharing and talking about would be really helpful so that we have some conversation going. We can also sit here in awkward silence as well. I'm really good about that. We could definitely do that. I know last workshop it only took like 5 minutes for people to start talking. But yeah, we can do that as well if you'd like. Again, you can always chat it if you don't feel like muting yourself or talking in a big group. That works out too.
We can start if you guys want to just like drop down your majors in the chat or say it.
Someone said, I wanted to know the experience of other students with similar stories. What stories specifically are you referring to? So yeah, because we can tell you a little bit about like what other students have shared with us and some of their experiences. If that's kind of what you were looking for, maybe that's something that we can definitely talk about. So someone said, I'm an English major and I haven't met anyone who is like me, so it's been pretty discouraging. Kevin shared that. So something that I would say, Kevin, and I'm sure Martha can reiterate that as well, is it's always really discouraging at the beginning. I came in as a STEM major, and it was really hard to meet folks who related to me, who talked to me in the sense of like what it was like to kind of share my experience. Especially if you're not comfortable talking about your status with folks who might not share your status, it can also feel discouraging. I would just recommend, the year's just starting. Maybe you've been here for longer, anything like that, but keep going to events that undocumented students hold, because you can meet other folks, and then through them you can meet their friends, kind of form a little group. So I would just encourage to be open about going to different events and talking to people. But it's easy to get discouraged, and I know I felt it, but I would just encourage to kind of keep going and reaching out to folks. And we are going to have a group chat that we're going to build this year. So that's something where you can also chat with folks. But I'll let Martha kind of see what she thinks on that.
Yeah, so I think something that really stuck with me when I first came in was someone from CAPS talked to us during the USS orientation as a first year, and they told me I can't reiterate how many times someone comes into me and tells me I feel alone. And it's like the previous person who came in and met with me told me the same thing, and the next time people will do the same. And obviously she can't meet them up because of confidentiality thing, but like I guess what I got from there is you're not alone. Like I feel like a lot of people try to keep in, like internalize their struggles, but I definitely feel like if you like go out and like you try to talk to people or try to like really connect with people, whether you know what kind of background they have or not, you find a lot about them. So I think that's something that was really helpful for me.
And then, as we said, I just wanted to get perspective. I know personally for me, a lot of people told me that pursuing higher education was not for me. Yeah, I think what you just said there, like not pursuing higher education, is something that a lot of folks can connect with and kind of do that. And then like, I think the big thing with that is like you have to take it with who it's coming from. So who's telling you that you can't pursue higher education or that it's not for you? You know, is it someone that really knows you? Is it someone that you care about? And if it is, kind of taking it with a grain of salt, like you know what's best for you, and not saying that higher education is best for everyone. Like you know yourself. If university is what you want to do, you're here and you're pursuing at least these workshops and kind of getting more information, which at least tells me you're interested and wanting to get to know more. So I would continue to pursue it and kind of keep going. And as a student, I had high school counselors who didn't know what DACA was, who didn't know how to help me fill out my financial aid, who told me like, oh, undocumented folks can't go to college. And I was like, oh, really? Like, why not? You know, I was really lucky that my mom was really invested because my sister went to college. And so she told me like, that's not true. Like, let's go talk to other people about how to fill out your Dream Act and how to do your DACA. So I can definitely feel that with people telling you like, oh, undocumented folks can't go to college, or maybe your GPA is not for college. But I think it's really important that you take those comments with a grain of salt and kind of focus on like all the good things that are going on and all the good things that people are telling you. And again, you're here and you're kind of learning a little bit more. So I think that's what you should be focusing on, and maybe kind of looking at that perspective, and definitely talking to other students who have had that experience can be hard. But I think a lot of us who are undocumented have at least heard once that, you know, they can't go to college for whatever reason. So we're really all there on that boat with you. I believe 1 minute left. So just really quickly, remember that virtual student meetup October 3rd and October 7th. And yeah, thank you all so much for coming and for sharing.
Yeah, thank you so much. And, you know, just y'all being here says a lot already. You know, y'all are here, y'all are UCSB. You know, some of y'all have been participating throughout the days. Like, you probably know by now there are a lot of resources on campus, and, you know, we want to help you and we want you to succeed. And, you know, we don't want you to feel like you're alone. Like, please always reach out. And, you know, like Undocumented Student Services said, they're going to have plenty of opportunities for you all to get to know each other and get to know them, and more of their resources. So please, you know, reach out. And yeah, good luck with the rest of the quarter.